Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today we're going to take a look at one of my bird bath plantings. It is a landscape that has Colorado blue spruce, Connecticut red pine, and some Thuja occidentalis grown really closely together. They're on their second year of growth, and they had a rough time this winter with the basement greenhouse, full spectrum grow lights. So we're going to do a little pruning just for aesthetics and see what we got. So that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, y'all. So up front we have Thuja occidentalis. Right here we have Connecticut red pines. And then sporadically, well, this guy looks dead, but there's some actual buds. There are some Colorado blue spruce. Boom, 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 boom. And those grow a lot slower. So what I wanted to do was create a landscape that was an extremely dense forest. And, you know, right now it just looks like a total mess, partially because these trees did not like my full spectrum grow lights in the basement this winter. And secondly, because I grew them so close together and they're all little seedlings, so they don't really have an identity yet. You know, they're just kind of growing into each other. But have you ever gone to a forest and, you know, you're walking amongst it and literally the trees are all on top of each other and there's 50, 60, 100 feet before there's even a canopy whatsoever. And then, you know, that canopy is just absolutely tiny. And I think that's really cool. I meant to take some video this winter of it, you know, in Connecticut when the deciduous trees are defoliated. You can really see like the really small canopies on the really old pines. And I just think that's so cool. So that's what I was trying to create with this. So that's still where I'm going with it. So the front of the planting would be like this because the spruces will be shorter and smaller. And it's like you're going into the forest. You know, I'll put in like a pathway eventually in the landscape. And, you know, then the trail will run through, but it'll be a dense canopy. Like when you're in a forest and you're on a trail and you look up and literally you can't see the sky or it's raining and you're not getting wet. That's what I'm trying to create. So there are some new buds on the top here, but it's really pretty ugly. So what I want to do is just give a haircut straight across the thujas and then maybe nip the tops of these pines as well and let some more sunlight get into the green and active buds. And this is the first pruning on all these trees. They were grown from seed really closely together in like a silver takeout tray. And I grew them in that. And then I just literally slid it in. Well, I think Laura helped me with that one. So you can go back on the playlist and look at the 3 bird bath plantings and you could see this thing being born. I think it has a lot of potential, but like most bonsai projects, they look terrible for the majority of the time. And the full spectrum grow lights making everything turn brown and yellow over winter did not help. So now that this is like their second year, this winter I'll let them stay outside and I'll just keep them protected from the wind and ensure they stay nice and moist. I'm going to admit that all you bonsai broskies out there that were leery about me taking in my pines and my thujas and the cold hardy trees for the winter, you were correct. I admit it. So they don't look the best. The ones that did stay outside, they look healthy and amazing. So I will have a different plan going into next winter. But for now, let's just celebrate spring and the new growth and get this thing well on its way, right? I'm just removing what like ugly stuff looks like it could be dead or, you know, just getting a little leggy. Eventually I might have to take a couple out, like if they die or they're just way too on top of each other, but I'd like to see how they react growing this tightly together. I know that I have to water this thing a lot to make sure all the roots are fed. I don't really want to creep in outside the rim too much because it's already a big planting. There's a little baby back here. Let's see there. So today, looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. I'm going to get in some paddle boarding with Laura and Franny. Franny has a private ballet lesson. She takes those in my gym in the garage now because out on the deck just gets way too hot with the scorching sun. She like melts to her dance floor. So that makes it easy on me because through this pandemic, I've literally been moving her ballet bar, a big piece of plywood, and then her dance flooring from this deck around down the stairs into the 2-car garage that I converted into a gym. So now that it's just staying there for the season, I'm like, okay, life got easier. So it looks like a lot of these pines, the top candle is about to open up. So what I'm going to do is just trim off a lot of the yellowing, and let's see where these things go when they actually sprout up. There are a couple of what look like dead spruce back here, but I'll leave them just in case. Some of them, the top candle looks nice and healthy, like it's about to explode, and some looks like there are some candles down below, but not up top, and those are the ones I'll just nip the tip here. That one was branching nicely. Some of these are, developing some nice branching. I hope that they get like that vertical growth. I love to see multi-trunk pines that all go straight up together. The tree that does that the best is the redwood. Freaking beautiful. All right, this thing's starting to look better. I was just telling Laura over coffee, like this week will really show what trees are dead and which trees were just slow to come out of dormancy. So it's really fun to see. It's like, oh, please come back to life. You put in a few years of work on a tree from seed, and then it just doesn't come back with the spring season. It's like, all the times you water it, fertilize it, repot, take care of it, they still die. So I guess that's the hardest part of bonsai for me. Just pulling these needles off. They're coming off relatively easily. So there's this spruce here. Looks like it's dead from here up, and this one from here up, but there are nice healthy buds and candles coming out down below. So I'll just nip the tips on those. There's some pines that are laying down, growing sideways. That's cool. Yeah, I'm curious to see how this develops this season for sure. Now that they've been together now for a full, I'm thinking a year. I think it was probably about this time that we potted them up. I just thought these bird bass, they were a great deal at a local big box store. Thought they were a cool concept for doing landscapes. So I have one that is a sea planting with Canary Island day palm trees. And I have one over here that's black locust and crepe myrtles. I'm not sure if the crepes are going to come back, but that one is looking, that one's looking special itself. Okay. Grass in there. So you notice I have some little mounds and patches of moss here. I'm hoping that they all start to green up, but I like the way they add a little texture to the landscape. So I just have this stone in here to hold up this spruce tree, but I will start to add some stones as well. Like local to Connecticut, we have a high quartz content, so maybe I'll do like a little quartz stack. Every day when I'm walking on our street is sand and stone, and when they like grade it or it rains, all the cool rocks come to the top, like obsidian and quartz. So when I'm walking, I'm always coming home with stones. It's my thing. And I'm also like, oh, look at that baby tree. I got to come back and Yamadori that, and then I never do. All right, I think I'm about done here. Yep. All right, I'll give it a little spin ski. All right. So it looks like that's going to do it for us today here at the ranch, y'all. I hope you enjoyed your time. From my family to yours, stay well, stay happy, and keep growing. Take care, y'all.